So I'm Paul Hindmarsh, all the way from the good old UK. And this year, I am here to talk about the new Firehawk 1500 stage amp. So Firehawk 1500 is for the guitar player who wants a 1,500 watt stage amplifier that can really accurately reproduce acoustic instruments, electric instruments. It can do MP3 or sort of stereo music playback as well, because it's a full range speaker system. So let's have a quick listen to a few of those, and then we'll go through why it sounds the way it does. If I want more of a Marshall-y kind of crunch sound, back enough nice, and it responds when I play hard. More of a sort of high gain sound, so a bit more delay on here, more of a lead sound. Nice sustain, and that kind of sound is a sound of sort of dialed in at home, but because this is full range, that's exactly the sound that I'm getting here as well. There's no sort of nasty surprises when you turn the amp up. Like I said before, we'll do acoustic instruments, so I'm going to fake that a little bit now because I have the Variax here. So on this patch, the actual amplifier has told the guitar to be an acoustic, and now I have so acoustic frequencies that you just wouldn't expect to hear from a normal traditional guitar amplifier. So let's have a look and see how it does that. So if we were to take the front off the amplifier, we would see that there's actually 6 different speakers inside. So we have a 12-inch driver in the front, and that's going to provide a lot of the sort of the bass frequencies if you're playing music through there. It's also going to give you the bulk of the dry guitar sound. Your stereo image is going to come from 2 5-inch coax speakers, so that's 2 different speakers sitting within each other as well. And then right in the center, we've actually got a 1-inch high-frequency driver in there as well for all that really nice top end. So that's how it's able to do stereo music playback, everything from one box, but looking like a traditional guitar amplifier. So if you want the experience of a normal guitar amplifier, it's going to give you that experience. On the top of the amp, we have really familiar amp controls. So if in a live situation, if you want to quickly edit the bass or the mid or the treble, you can do that straight from the top like a traditional amplifier. We've got a clear LCD screen there, and underneath that we have an encoder that will enable us to change any of the 128 patches, but also to go straight in and edit reverbs, edit effects, edit cabinets. Any parameter that you want to change, you can do that now directly from the amplifier. Beside that, if you want to connect your tablet or iPhone or Android device, you can actually download the app, which makes things really easy and really clear, and we'll see that in a moment as well. But on the back of the amp, we have a stereo effects loop, which you can use. It can be positioned anywhere in the signal chain. So if you want overdrives in front of your sound, or you want an extra delay, maybe you have a really expensive reverb pedal, a stereo one, you can actually plug that in and you'll hear your stereo effects coming through the speakers. Your main outputs, so you wouldn't normally want to mic up an amplifier like this up. The outputs on the back are the same sound as what's going to the PA system, so you just don't need to actually bother with a microphone on this. MIDI in and out, so if you want to incorporate with a more or a pro setup and incorporate with other gear, it's going to be able to do all of that. You've got the Variax VDI connection, so if you own a Variax, it's going to switch over those guitar sounds. It's going to give you access to all the different tunings as well. And it'll do that on a preset by preset basis. So there's 128 presets there. With the Variax, each one of those presets could have a different tuning and a different guitar model that was actually part of that. USB, so we can stream the audio direct to a computer, and we can do reamping with that as well, so it'll stream your dry signal. And over here is a really interesting feature that you wouldn't normally see on a guitar amp, but we have the monitor ins. So the monitor ins enables me to play any kind of music through that. I could plug a drum machine into there. It also means I could take maybe from the PA system in a gig situation, I could run my backing vocals, maybe a bit of kick drum or some band mix through here as well, and just treat it like my own personal PA system, but have the majority of it guitar sound so that I can hear myself nice and loud. So a really important input there. We also have a really nice kickstand on there, which means that I can angle the amp, so I'm getting the exact sound that I actually programmed in the house as well. You know, rather than it be facing forward and you guys at the front just getting all the treble and all the top end, me dialing in more of it because I can't hear it from here, it's just going to enable me to actually get a crystal clear sound. So I shall attempt now to play a song. Thank you. That was loud up here. Right, so if you don't have a Variax, but you want to have, you've got a normal acoustic guitar, we can also plug that straight into the top as well. Or if you have a mandolin or a ukulele that you want to amplify, you're going to be able to do this on here, and you'll be able to do it by just switching off the amp models on the amp and just using just as a loudspeaker source. So I should have a patch here for this nice Yamaha acoustic guitar. So this should be very different from the sort of sound you'd expect from a normal electric guitar amp. So let's just tweak some of these sounds now and see how easy this is. So this is connected via Bluetooth to the amp. And I've got access to all those same effects that I mentioned before, so all the delays and the reverbs. And it's as simple as me tapping on the screen, whether it's on the Android or on a phone, and that will open up the parameters for that particular effect. So I want to tweak those reverbs. If I tap the reverb icon, this is going to open up a whole page of different reverbs. And now I can just tap on the one that I want, double tap to get the parameters, and then use my finger just to turn up the different reverbs. So now I've got a reverb with an octaver on. It's nice, yeah. And so the reverbs that you're hearing there, obviously you're hearing them from the PA as well, but in front of the amp, I'm hearing crystal clear studio reverbs there. They're not reverbs that have been forced through a 12-inch guitar speaker. They're actually coming out in stereo through 6 different speakers there. Thank you. Great, thank you. So the amps are around the room if you want to try one. If you've got any questions, see one of the Line 6 guys or myself. And let's say it's just an amplifier that can pretty much deal with any gig that you throw at it, whether it's acoustic guitar, electric guitar, just want to play really loud music at a barbecue and annoy all the neighbors, it's going to be able to do all of those tasks as well. Thank you very much.